Hi guys, Tablet-News.com, and I'm here with the Acer Iconia W7, aka the W700. This one is an Intel Core tablet. It has the Intel Core i5 CPU inside, as you can see right here. There is also an Intel Core i3 version, but more about that a bit later. Basically, it's got the body of a tablet and the specifications of an Ultrabook. It also has a bundled keyboard case that you saw in the unboxing. And if you want to know price tags, well, there's a Core i3 version that costs $799 in the 64 gigabytes version, and the one that we have right here is the Core i5 version, the one with 128 gigabytes of storage, that costs $1,049. So once again, $799 for the Core i3 version and $1,049 for the Core i5 with 128 gigabytes of SSD storage. Well folks, I have to admit that I have an Intel Core i3 PC, so I'm actually holding a tablet in my hand that's more powerful than my desktop PC. So it has come to this point where tablets are stronger than the PCs we work on. Now let's move on to the design and analyze this device. We're dealing with a tablet that has a thickness of 11.9 millimeters, so it's not the slimmest slate out there. It also weighs pretty much 925 grams. A handbreaker, if I can say that, almost 1 kilo. It's a massive tablet, but it has very good specs inside. Up front we have an 11.6 inch screen, and the whole thing is basically one big slab of metal. It has an aluminum case and it's pretty hard to hold, but at the same time, being massive has its advantages. For example, it's a sturdy device, resilient, although I wouldn't recommend you to drop it and test that. So let's check out the sides of this slab of metal. Up front we have a big display, and below the display you can see the Windows button right here. We have a front camera right here at the top. On the left side, let's see what we have. We've got the micro HDMI port right here, USB 3.0 charging port, and the promise of Dolby Home Theater audio experience. Moving on further, by the way, I also missed something. You can see here there is a small microphone hole, so remember that. On the right side we find the on-off button, volume buttons, audio jack, and some branding and serial number. Now at the bottom we got the speakers that will produce the noise and music on this device, while at the top, let's see what we have. We got the lock orientation button for the screen and the two fans that will be cooling the powerful Core i5 processor. And now at the back, finally, we have a 5 megapixel camera available right here, plus the usual logos, Acer, Intel Core i5 and Windows 8. So that's about it when it comes to the design. Massive tablet, sturdy tablet, and an Ultrabook replacement with similar specs. We also have a bundled keyboard cover. You can see it right here. It's branded Acer. It has a very nice soft touch material, and here's what it involves. We've got the keyboard per se with an on-off button here, and this plastic area where you integrate the tablet. It's the material may be nice feeling to the hand, but the problem I have with this plastic area is how long it takes to actually integrate the tablet well. It will take a bit of a while to get used to that, but in the end you should be able to integrate the tablet correctly and place it like this, and basically replace your Surface Pro with it if you want. And when you're done, you can fold it like this and use it as a protection for the device. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the keyboard cover and the Acer Iconia W700 tablet inside. It connects fast. The keys are pretty comfy. So these are the keys of the QWERTY tablet, comfortable to use, fast to use. They stand out enough to be easily felt by the user. So actually they stand out a bit more compared to the type cover of the Surface tablet, but more about that some other time. Overall, this is a big tablet, but it's worth the effort since it provides the specs of an Ultrabook. Okay, so now as far as the hardware is concerned, inside this device we have an Intel Core i5 CPU. The version is 33710, and this is a dual-core 1.7 GHz processor. You should probably know that this processor helps the device run Windows 8 Pro in the 64-bit version. And other stuff worth mentioning about this tablet is that it comes with 4 GB DDR3 SD RAM. Once again, the Acer Iconia W700, that's the model we're talking about here. A pretty powerful tablet that also has an SSD with 128 gigabytes of storage, and this beautiful display that you can see right here is 11.6 inches in diagonal. It's a TFT LCD with a resolution of 1920 over 1080 pixels. It also has LED backlight, and as far as the graphics are concerned, we have an Intel HD 4000 taking care of that. On the connectivity side, we've got Wi-Fi, we've got Bluetooth 4.0, micro HDMI, and inside we have a lithium polymer battery with a capacity of 4850 mAh. It should provide about 9 hours of functioning time, at least on paper. Other features include, as I said before, the USB 3.0 micro HDMI port and the front and back HD camera. You should also know that with some HD video and some intense activity on this tablet, you should probably reach 6 or 7 hours of battery life with this 3-cell battery unit that we have inside the device. Now it's time to do that usual test where we try out the multimedia capacity of the device, and we start by toying with SoundCloud. So I'm using Internet Explorer, triggering the keyboard. By the way, this is the keyboard of the device. And now I'm going to access SoundCloud, and we're going to listen to some music using those speakers at the bottom. Okay guys, we're on SoundCloud, and I'm going to search for one of my favorite artists right now, Arcasia. Here we are, and let's listen to some free tunes, and let's turn up the volume. And let's skip ahead. Okay, so that pretty much does it. Now it's time to draw some conclusions and to also show you the music app on this device that also integrates a store, as usual, for the applications from Microsoft. Okay, so the conclusions: we have Dolby technology, which means I was expecting just a little bit more. The volume is reasonably good. However, this tablet is below the Nexus 10 if you ask me. Also, I find that the sound is pretty clear, the bass is decent, but there's a slight bit of distortion that spoils that experience of perfect Dolby audio. As you see here, we have the promise of Dolby Home Theater, and what we get is a slightly distorted experience, but we have clear sound, we have good bass, and we have decent volume. So overall, I would say that the audio experience is not a bad one overall. However, once again, it's below the Nexus 10. That's a true powerhouse when it comes to the audio experience. On the video side, I'm going to pick a trailer here. Lots of trailers. Let's see which one is actually worth your time and probably your money in the cinema. Let's try a bit of this horror movie, playing a trailer. And let's go to full screen. They actually spoofed this movie in Scary Movie 5, by the way.
Victoria, how they survived is unexplainable. I'm your daddy's brother. Remember Uncle Luke? With a loving family environment.
We're dealing with a full HD display with a 178-degree viewing angle. It's a wide viewing angle. It supports 10-point multi-touch. It's not a glossy screen, that's what I like about it. It's very bright, it has great colors, and it has Gorilla Glass protection.
There's no way that I'm ready for this.
How have they been affected?
They talk.
So we got a great screen on a Core i5 tablet, so what more could you want? as an ultrabook replacement, I mean. Okay guys, now is that part of the review again where we test the camera. So a 5 megapixel camera and a castle to use. Let's see what results we can wield with the camera. Strange placement of the camera at the back, taking a picture. Just a quick snap of the device. And now maybe some options that I can show you. So we got here the resolution with 5 megapixel in a 4:3 aspect ratio. We also have a microphone and video stabilization, believe it or not. We can also tweak the brightness, the contrast, flicker, autofocus is also available, and exposure can be auto or manual, so you can play with it however you want. There's also a timer if you want to use that. And in the video mode, let's see some of the options here. Strangely enough, we have a huge video resolution of 1944p for video capture. That's amazing. Probably the best I've seen on a device. After all, we have a huge CPU inside, huge performance. And now we're doing some video capture, but apparently something went wrong during the video capture. Such bugs usually appear on test devices. Aside from the normal application, we also have one from Acer. Let's see that one. It's called Acer Crystal Eye. It's more to have fun with it than to take some serious pictures. Once again using the castle, but this time we're going to really play with the application. So we got some effects to play with here, and also some frames, so you can frame your pictures if you want right from the start. Also some effects like boom, balloons, happy birthday, or stuff like that. So basically the Acer Crystal Eye is a cute application for adding stuff to your pics. But I doubt that people will be taking a lot of pictures with this huge tablet that weighs almost 1 kilo and its tiny little camera at the back, 5 megapixel shooter. I must also mention that the indoor pictures have a lot of noise, but the outdoor pictures are actually quite decent, and the video, as you expect, it's very good because of that huge resolution. Now it's time to also mention some other stuff about this tablet. For example, it takes 6 seconds to boot, it takes 1.5 seconds to resume, and also it takes 2.5 seconds to access the online features. So to own the internet, it only takes 2.5 seconds. Now it's time to show you the web browsing experience. So it appears that SoundCloud has been left open here, but no problem. Let's access Tablet-News.com. And here we go. This is our website, Tablet-News.com. Pinch to zoom works like a charm. We do some scrolling around. Excellent text view on this Full HD screen. And this is how it's done with Internet Explorer. It appears that we have started some song by mistake. Okay, other than that, I must also show you the keyboard and how we can use it to do some proper word input in Word. So let's access good old Word 2013. Let's close that browser meanwhile. Start up a Word document. View some of the options right here, the usual ones that you probably know already. And of course you can use the virtual keyboard if you want, but I recommend you use the standard keyboard, the one that comes bundled with the device. Here we go, placing the device right here. Once again, it's a pretty tough task to perform. It's pretty hard to properly integrate the tablet into this accessory, but when you're done, it's perfect. Okay, now I'm going to press the on-off button on the keyboard, start it up. It started, and I can already start inputting stuff. As you can see in Word, it's already working. So it's hassle-free, and then I can start editing stuff. I can add a mouse connected to the USB 3.0 port on this side of the tablet, close it up, go to the business meeting, open it up right there, prop it up like this, show the business partners what I've written on the device, and as you can see, you can keep writing on the screen. You can use the virtual keyboard if you want to, or you can use the physical one from the accessory. you get the idea. Anyway, let me just shut down Word and open up Excel for you. Yet another tool for the businessman. Here you can open various tables if you're working with tables, or you can open a pie chart or stuff like that. I'm not very good with Excel, but you probably know what to do better than I do. So that's it when it comes to the working experience with this tablet, at least with Word and Office, and this nifty keyboard that you can connect via Bluetooth and you can charge with a special cable bundled with the device. I must also show you one more thing. First, let me remove the tablet from its shell, and then let me show you a cool thing that Acer has implemented on this device. So if you do something like this, a movement like this, you trigger the Acer ring. I saw the Acer ring on Android devices, Android tablets, Android handsets, and it can allow you to access some of the basic features of the device, like documents, photos, videos, device controls, showed like this in a very quick way. You can also play stuff from here, see your favorite applications, the documents you need in a document viewer, your photos from the camera roll, videos. So it's a basic shortcut to everything you need on the device. Okay, so carrying on with the review, you probably want to know some benchmark results on this tablet, so that's why we go to an application called PC Benchmark, and you can see here the test results. We have a GPU test, RAM test, CPU test, and disk test. If you want a comparison, well, for example, the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga had this test write speed of 263 megabytes per second, while this model had an impressive 455 megabytes per second write speed. So this model is superior to the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga, at least when it comes to its storage write speed. We also tried running 3D Mark, but that didn't work out so well on this device. It was 3D Mark 11. The application should be somewhere around here, but once again, didn't work out that well. However, if you want to compare results, from what I know, this model is also pretty close to the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga as far as 3D Mark performance goes. As usual with such devices, you can either install applications through an exe file, the good old-fashioned way, or you can go to the Windows Store, download your apps. You got a series of Acer picks, games, social apps, entertainment, photo, music and video, and all that. So there are two ways to have fun with apps here, either through an exe pack or simply from the Windows Store. And then let's move on to the series of applications available on this device. We have a selection called Acer Apps. We start with Acer Explorer. This is basically that kind of app that you need to have when you purchase a new device. It allows you to get some recommendations of the best applications to download in your device. Some of them come directly from a sort of Acer store, if you can say that way. We have productivity apps, we also have social apps and music apps. Aside from Acer Explorer, there are also some other interesting applications like this one. It's called News Espresso, and it aggregates the news, social networking, it aggregates sports, entertainment, Facebook and Twitter, as you can see right here in a nifty interface. This is how you can view the article. You can favorite it, share it, or link it. And moving even further, there is another interesting application called Social Jogger. As the name says, it's used for social networking. This is my Twitter feed with the modern UI applied here. And there are options right here at the top. You can update your status like that on all the networks, on Facebook, on Twitter, and even on YouTube. These are the messages that you can interact with. And that was the social jogger experience. Some other options like notifications or the geotagging of your tweets. You can also add more accounts. As you can see right here, we also have Facebook and YouTube, among others. And as you can see right now, we're dealing with some multitasking that I wanted to show you in order to let you know that Windows 8 is still here and giving you the classic multitasking experience, of course with the ability to snap applications or view them like this. So you have a store and you want to snap desktop mode right next to it. From what I understood, the future release Windows Blue will allow you to snap applications in 50/50. So you saw some applications from Acer like News Espresso and Social Jogger. I must get back to the audio because I forgot something. and that something is actually pretty cool. In the options area right here at the bottom, we have some Dolby settings that are actually pretty cool. So a huge amount of Dolby home theater version 4 settings. We can create a custom profile, select a special profile for music, games, and alternate a bunch of graphical equalizer settings. So a lot of stuff to tweak when it comes to the audio experience on this device. So keep that in mind. As I said, the volume could be a bit better, but at least you get all those tweaks from back then. Okay, now it's time to show you some more apps. Of course, the usual applications that all modern devices come with. So we got the email right here, and then aside from the email, we got the usual maps right here with its classic options here, like map style. For example, I selected the aerial view, still below Google Maps, if you're wondering about that. Of course, there's also a games area here where you can view the latest titles, game activity, Windows Game Store, and some Xbox 360 game recommendations. Okay, and of course we got the charm system right here with the settings available with a quick pop, and then the search that adapts to each and every app and can search within them. And that's about it when it comes to the Windows operating system. Now it's time to do some gaming, so let me just fire up one of the latest games launched on the PC. It's Resident Evil 6, and for that I'm going to need a keyboard and mouse that I'll set up right now. Okay guys, so this is it, Resident Evil 6. The game is starting and we have a mouse right here connected to the device. You can see the cursor. We also have the keyboard near it, trying to get a decent filming view for the device and trying to start up the game. As I said, this is one of the freshest games around from Capcom. Resident Evil 6 has been available on consoles like the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 last winter, and now it has come to the PC and we're testing it on this Core i5 device. As you can see, you can tweak the settings here. You can go with a full HD resolution if you want to, and that's what we did. But we also decided to go lower on the levels, like for example shadow quality, medium, texture quality, medium, and screen quality, also a medium. Okay, we selected all of those, new graphical settings, and we're all set. Of course, we won't play very much of Resident Evil 6, it's just for benchmarking purposes. The idea is to show you that the game can actually be played on a tablet. On an Intel Core i5 tablet, the Acer Iconia W700. The initial cutscene will start now and you get the option to see us playing the game. Takes a while to load. So once again, this is sort of a benchmarking for this tablet. This is one of the latest games available. Maybe Crysis 3 would have been a better idea, but I don't think that this tablet can manage that, although it may manage it on lower detail levels. Let's see if we can escape the initial cutscene. Well, apparently not. I have to warn you, this is not one of the best Resident Evil games out there. It's actually one of the poorer games. And now we should take control of the characters. I have to warn you that the first cutscene may seem a little bit laggy and choppy, but it gets better later on. Okay, now you can look around using the mouse. As I'm just doing, I'm looking around using this mouse right here, and I have to tap the space button in order to drag the female companion of the main character. So just tapping the space button as sad as I can. And once again looking around, using the mouse and trying to get further from the fire. This is the main character, Leon, if I'm not mistaken, from the previous Resident Evil games. And now it's time to walk forward by pressing the directional buttons. It's a very dark game. Of course, it's a horror survival title. And these are actual in-game graphics. We are controlling the characters right now.
I'll only slow you down. Just go.
You're not getting off that easy. Come on.
And now I have to press V and give her a helping hand. And once again I can look around. And you can see the quality of the lighting and those flies, they're detailed. And we move further ahead.
After all we've been through, it'd be a waste to give up now.
And now I have to remove that board that's blocking the door, and I will have to do so by pressing a sequence of buttons at the proper moment. First up is space. And then the R button. You actually have to get the timing right, which is kind of hard. And I finally did. And one last pull. And that should do it. Once again, the graphics are very detailed. You can see the flies, the lighting, the shadows, all of that on an Intel Core i5 tablet that costs $1,049. And now we're moving even further ahead. And once again, this is not a cinematic, it's actual in-game gameplay footage, and we're controlling everything. We're crawling.
Let's try this way.
With Leon and Helena. Beautiful lighting effects just there. It's somewhere on par with the graphics of Hitman, for example. Let's look around some more, see some more detailed texture. Okay guys, that's about it, a short demo of Resident Evil 6. It came from Capcom. We tested it on the Acer Iconia W700. It works like a charm, especially with medium level settings and full HD resolution. I guess that's about it when it comes to gaming. I must also mention that Acer makes a big deal out of promoting its cloud services, and for that I'm going to go into the desktop mode. As you can see, we have some shortcuts here. If I press this power button, it shows me the Acer power button options with lock, sleep, hibernate and restart, and some other Acer options and services, where for one thing we have one that takes care of your pictures. So they may take a while to start, but they're well worth the effort. We have Acer Cloud available on this device. Here we are, this is Clear 5 Photo, and you can sync your photos with the PC, and you can share them via your home environment, and you can also see them on your Android devices. For example, the Acer Cloud Mobile handset comes with these applications as well. This is another application for the cloud. This one is for syncing documents. Once again, very useful. And then we got yet another one. As you can see, we can sync documents, presentations and spreadsheets. And finally, we got yet another application. This one is for music. Taking a while to load, but once again, well worth the effort. Here we are, it's Clear 5 Media. And once again, you can do some home sharing. You can organize your music, play it by pressing this button, and generally organize your playlist and music in the cloud thanks to Acer services. Time for the big old verdict regarding the Acer Iconia W700 tablet that I'm holding in my hands right now. The pros and cons, well, the pros are the accessories of this device, that beautiful keyboard cover, also very comfortable. The price is not very big considering this is an Ultrabook replacement, and it actually has some very good hardware inside, Intel Core i5 CPU, a huge amount of RAM, 128 GB of SSD. We've got good audio thanks to these speakers and those Dolby audio settings that I mentioned earlier, and we also got good video. You saw the bright screen, the beautiful colors both in the game and in the video that I showed you. Resident Evil 6, which is a game from 2013, works just fine on this game, on this tablet. It has a decent battery life. Like I said, 6-7 hours of intense use. You can do your work on it using the keyboard. You can do some Office, Excel, PowerPoint, presentations, writing, or whatever you do. And the tablet charges up pretty fast when it comes to the battery. And now the cons, the negative aspects. It's a pretty heavy tablet. My hand hurts after holding it more than 5 minutes. It's a pretty noisy device as well. Those two fans right here, when the tablet is put to work, they make quite a huge fuss. So big noise. And also the camera at the back is rather poor, so you should probably avoid using it too much. But with a tablet that weighs a kilo, I doubt you'll use it so much. Another defect is the fact that we only have one USB port. I would have liked maybe 2 of them. At least it's USB 3.0. There's also no expandable storage, no micro SD, no SD card slot. And one final mention, the tablet gets pretty hot at its back side. Okay, now it's time to give some grades to the Acer Iconia W700. For design, we give it a 7.8 out of 10. For hardware, 9.5 out of 10, excellent hardware. And for operating system and user interface, a 9. The final grade is 8.76 out of 10, and we really had a lot of fun with the Acer Iconia W700. That's it from Tablet News. Bye bye.